Hello everybody, welcome back, hope you're okay. I wanted to talk about this, the trend of setting custom Mac lock screens. I'll play a video now. So when I lock the computer, this is what you see. You see this nice video. Hopefully you saw a video of what I'm on about how to do that. And I want to actually look at the technical aspects of what you're doing, what's happening. Because people are just saying, change this file, you'll get this, what, blah, simples. And let me explain how you do it first, and then what I've discovered from playing around. But as you can see, I'm on the computer, I'm on the lock screen. I've got the Finder somewhere down here. Oh yeah, here in the assets. So what they're saying is you need to change files in this idleassetsd folder, which is within the system support application. And in this customer, you've got here all the videos you downloaded. So if we click on one, this is, I don't know, some C. You get the idea. These are all just the ones you see on your Mac. Okay, let's look at one of these. So let's actually look at it. So, oh, that's what I uploaded. We'll get to that in a minute. So this is the trees. Okay, you can see it's a 5-minute long video. And actually, if we jump into this properly, you'll see that it's filmed in slow-mo. Well, at least it thinks it's filmed in slow-mo. So it'll play this bit faster than it'll play this bit. Because it's filmed in so many frames per second. However, if you change the file to something with less frames per second, it will just play it faster. Of course, you could put your own slow-mo video in, but most people want a nice, fast-paced sort of thing. So I did, what is this one? This one. It's nothing great. It's just some footage of me in the car on holiday. But before we get to me doing that, let's show how we're getting there. So back out here, there is some stuff. So there's this entries.json. We're going to open this up in VS Code just to have a look at the bundle. And if you format this properly, you'll actually see this is the list of files. So this is all of the media assets and all of the categories. So each media asset looks like this. We've got points of interest. I'm not quite sure what this is. I thought this was places where it stops. But actually it doesn't appear to be, it just appears to be random places of interest in the video. But they sort of jump through each other, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got your preview image, and whether it included in the shuffle, so stuff like that. But that's the preview image that you see in system preferences, and then you've got the full MOV file link. There's all of that sort of stuff here. But what I discovered is, by playing around and editing that file, there is no reference to that file in the system. It's not dynamically loading assets from that file. I looked inside the resources tar, and back here there's a database. Ignore the fact I've copied it. If we open this database up, you can see all the categories and stuff in here. It's all in here, but none of this appears to be loaded into the system dynamically. Although if you do delete the database, it will recreate it. So I don't know. So I'm not sure where it's actually loading the media asset definitions from, because what I was thinking of doing is you could just reference new assets as opposed to changing Apple's assets. But for some reason they'll do that. If you come into Activity Monitor and you search for wallpaper, you've got the wallpaper system agent. This is what runs within macOS and within system preferences. That's what I meant to say. That runs in there. But then you've also got this wallpaper video extension. This is what runs the video component to it. And as you can see here, this is referencing my 4K SDR244 file, followed by the video name. You can also see it's referencing some other stuff, but I couldn't find anything that actually dynamically reads and writes from the SQL. So let's go into system preferences. And you get down to wallpaper. You can get all the wallpapers. I want to say it was California wildflowers. No, maybe it wasn't. I can't remember which video changed now. Hold on. So we can, knowing what we now know, we can look up which video I've actually changed. So if we jump into this, find the video, the one that I created, which is this one. Copy the name without the MOV. Open the entries.json file. Put it in here. Nicely format it. Search for that. I changed the the California wildflowers. So where is the California? I thought it was this one. Okay, I'm doing a bit of a dig around now. I've solved my problem. It turns out, though this is calling its accessible label California Wildflowers, that's not the name of the piece. The name of the piece is denoted by this localized name key, which is looked up somewhere else and converted. So actually I wanted this one here. So as you can see now, let's close this shit down. I've got that video up and you can see that. So in Activity Monitor, you can see that in the system extension, it's now referring to my video asset as its primary asset. You can just see it's doing something here in caching. It's trying to download other media assets. So the common problem is when the Mac shuts and you open it back up when you get back to the home screen, you don't see the video. The problem there is two things. You need to have a video that is the same length as the original video, whether that be 5 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever. But if you look at what the points of interest are on the video you replace, you can pick how far along it'll get. Most of the time it'll try and get to a point of interest in that JSON file, so you can look at that to understand what you need to do when replacing it. If I lock the Mac now, you should see what this looks like. So it turns out when I lock the computer, the screen share stops, so I'm just going to do it with this recording. So when I lock the computer, this is what you see. You see this nice video, which I think is very cool and very clever. Now back to Thomas from the past. Okay, so it turns out, actually, when it's locked, the screen recording stops. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to film a bit in a minute where I just record it with my phone. But that's fine. I'll get back to that and I'll demonstrate. So you'll have seen that there, probably. You'll have seen that there. Overall, I think this is quite clever. Whoever came up with this has clearly really thought about it. But I do think there were some key points that are missing. Nobody is talking about the effects of deleting and changing those files. Yeah, you can re-download them, but actually, when you're getting a black screen, what is actually happening is the wallpaper agent is crashing because it's trying to load part of a video that doesn't exist because it's got references to it in the timeline. So you need to make sure you've got a video that's the right length. And the slow frame rate is fine. It's wanting a 240 frame rate and you're only giving it, say, 60 or 30 or whatever, which is fine, realistically, because it's going through those frames. So that's kind of that. I don't think I've got much else to say on this matter, but I thought I'd talk you through some of the technical aspects of how this is working, what's going on there in the system. But I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy. Bye.